Hey everybody, it's ZM and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's been quite a while since I've last said that. But yeah, last time I believe we completed the Fire Temple, and in doing so, we can actually see a Goron banner has joined both the Zora and Rito ones here in the Lookout Landing, as we have completed those regional phenomena. And before we make our way to the next one, there's quite a bit of side quests we can do. One thing I want to do is speak to Josha here. We don't have a side quest to do with her in particular, but if we do speak to her, we could trigger a side quest that has to do with Goggles, that being Robbie as she calls him. But yeah, as you can see, the mural that she only had a small piece of has now been completed, and now that we can see it completed, we can see it's depicting the auto build rune, something we've actually obtained quite a bit ago, I believe, and she is curious about the mysterious powers it holds. Luckily, we know all about it, so we can tell her about it. She would like to look further into it, but she can't because, yeah, the kid card, as she says, she can't explore the depths. She's too young. So she'll give us some bright bloom seeds and some arrows to launch him with, but we'll put those to use somewhere else. We don't really need them for that because we already done it, and we should tell her exactly that. I do believe Link explains to her. There we go. I love how you can see Link express himself when he explains things. It proves that Link does speak. It's just we can't see it, and I do appreciate Nintendo not letting us see Link's actual mannerisms because it lets you kind of interpret your own way of Link's speech, which is kind of nice. I mean, because it could butcher it and, people might not like the way his personality is. So, you can kind of reflect your own personality on him. But anyways, now that she knows all about it, we're going to get a Schema Stone from her. This is kind of one of the more useless Schema Stones because you can see it builds a hot air balloon. It's just two Zonai parts that are really easy to put together. But this is more so for like a tutorial, you could say. And yeah, now that we've got the Schema Stone, we can mess with these Zonai devices over here, which is the hot air balloon. We can now build it within seconds. It's not like you couldn't build it within seconds. It's like I said, you should attach the balloon onto it, but whatever. Yeah, I do believe you have to speak to her to be able to do this, because when we do this, and we'll go ahead and use the schematics that we have. Yeah, wow. Really cool. Really helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, because again, the schematics can be very, very useful, but I don't know so much about this one here. I mean, I guess the one good thing about it is with the schematics, you can build things out of thin air with using your Zonai, ore, but whatever. Now that we have built it, yes, she'll alert Goggles, that being Robbie, because he needs it. Inconceivable, as he says. Yeah, this balloon is fixed. Kind of similar to Impa. They just need the hot air balloon to traverse Hyrule, which if we apply the video game logic that is given to Link in this game, you can't. You only can go up. You're going to need like a Zonai fan or something to actually blow it in a different direction. But whatever. It works through these NPCs. Why am I questioning it? I don't know. But yeah, that does that. Now we can actually trigger a side quest with Robbie, but I do believe Link is also going to tell her about Master Koga, as yes, Master Koga was trying to get his hands on the auto build rune, and luckily we snatched it before they could get it. And I mean, Link is the only one who has authorization to actually obtain it. So yeah, I mean, it's not like Master Koga needs it. He literally poofs out vehicles from thin air as well. But here I am again questioning the video game logic behind the game, applying what would apply on Link on these NPCs. I need to stop that. I don't know why I'm doing that, but whatever. Yeah, with all of that said and done, let's go ahead and now speak to Robbie. I mean, we do have some more things we can do with Josha, but with how much this game has to offer, there's so many things to do everywhere. Let's just focus at one thing at a time, and there is one thing that we can do with Robbie that will be very useful. So, now that we have spoken to Josha, we can see that Robbie, yes, is looking at his hot air balloon, and he needs to get to that lab, as he's saying. So, yes, we're gonna pretty much meet him there as he's going to be making his way to the Hateno Tech Lab, which there we can actually upgrade our Purah Pad, similar to how we upgraded the Sheikah Slate in Breath of the Wild, though Purah was there, instead Purah is here. Yeah, she's not really all about that. But again, Robbie did help develop the Purah Pad. Too bad it's not called the Robbie Pad. I feel like he does mention that quite a bit. But yes, one thing we want is the sensor, as he just mentioned. The sensor will make locating shrines really easy. It was very useful in Breath of the Wild, and very useful in this game, of course. But it is pretty annoying because you have to hear the beeping. Luckily, you can turn it off. But yeah, we want to go ahead and head to the tech lab so we can upgrade it. We can actually get a couple more upgrades from the tech lab as well, though you have to make sure you fix Robbie's hot air balloon and speak to him to be able to enter the tech lab and upgrade your stuff, because the doors will be shut if you don't do this. So this is why this is kind of mandatory. As open world as the game is, there's a couple things you got to do, you know, in a certain order to actually get them to work, and this is one of them. So yeah, we're gonna pretty much make our way there, which is kind of exciting because we never made our way to Hateno Village yet within this game, and a lot has changed. So yeah, let's not keep him waiting. We'll see him in Hateno Village. All right, let's do this. So we're gonna pretty much make our way to Kakariko Village to start our way to Hateno Village. And there's a couple things we'll do along the way. So let's open up the map and just teleport straight to Kakariko Village. And yeah, from there, we'll slowly navigate our way to Hateno. So let's get started by getting back on our adventure. Alright, we're mainly here in Kakariko Village just to pass by it, as we want to make our way to the stable south of it. But before I do that, there is one thing I want to do here, at least near the village. And I am excited to make my way to Hateno Village, as I do believe out of all the villages, it's definitely the one that looks the most different aesthetically. I guess Kakariko Village also looks pretty different, especially with the Zonai artifacts and rings within the sky and all of that. But anyways, yeah, what I want to do is make my way up here. This will take us to the East Hill. There used to be a shrine here in Breath of the Wild, the Sheikah one right here, I believe, but we're going to ignore that. And yeah, slowly head up here, where there actually used to be a Great Fairy Fountain, but it's actually also been replaced and is in a different location. I believe, yeah, it's replaced by a chasm. But anyways, the main reason why I'm here in the East Hill is, as you can see, there's some bees, as we want their honey. So let's just shoo them away with our sword. Pick up the arrow, because, yeah, luckily if you do hit objects, you know, you don't actually hit an enemy, you could always reuse the arrow. So we're not actually wasting arrows by doing this, which is pretty nice. And sadly, these bees are just not happy about what I'm doing, though. So, okay, there we go. I like how our spirits are helping us out. But yeah, our goal is to pick up 3, you know, pieces of honey, essentially. And the reason why is actually for a side quest regarding a Great Fairy Fountain. Obviously not the one that's here, because there is no longer one here anymore, but there is one a little south of Kakariko Village on the way next to the stable. As we know in this game, all the Great Fairy Fountains are located near stables because they enjoy the music of the Stable Trotters. And speaking of which, these pieces of honey that we're collecting are literally for the Stable Trotters, at least for a member that we're going to help you know, rejoin the gang. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this guy. I'm going to kick his head far away. I love how Link does that. Let's pick up the honey, though, that we mainly came here for. And now that we do have 3 pieces, we're set. We're ready to go. And yeah, let's just make sure he's dead. So, you know, we're good. Everything is settled. The music is nice and quiet. Now we can enjoy the creepy music of the Blood Moon. As you may notice, it is rising tonight. It's going to be quite red. Actually, looks really freaky at night with the spirits behind me. Their eyes are just glowing. Yeah, seeing the sage's spirits are just terrifying right behind me. But
the blood-stained moon shines upon the land.
Yeah, I love how creepy Zelda is within this
The
cutscene.
aimless spirits of slain monsters return to flesh. The world is threatened once again.
All right, yeah, definitely a way better cutscene than Breath of the Wild's. Just the way Zelda speaks and seeing her in it, it's just very mysterious. But anyways, yeah, I love the spirits, even though they're very creepy, just seeing these sage's spirits behind me. But whatever, let's get moving. You know, they're very useful and they're very valuable to have with you. I mean, they're literally like, you know, in an RPG, you'd have like side characters behind you. That's what I feel like they are. They're the kind of the equivalent of that, but it does cause the game to lag a bit. So like normally when I play, I kind of disable them. I'm not going to do that for this playthrough because I kind of want to keep things as simple as possible and not, you know, personalize things too much to my play style. That way it's easy to follow. And man, I love seeing Naydra just fly in the sky. I love how depending on where you are, like what region you see that dragon, it just really gives you the scope of this game. Because yeah, speaking of which, like even though the game does lag a bit, having these spirits with us and everything, I mean, this game is just like unreal. Like seriously, out of any open world, I feel like no open world amounts to a game as big as this one, at least at this time. And it's crazy how it's running on the weakest modern console of all time. But anyways, that's kind of a side tangent. Let's go ahead and focus on the matter at hand. And that being, yes, we got to deliver the honey to this guy here. As you can see, he's beating on the drum. He has the music within him. And yeah, he is actually a part of the Stable Trotters. So what we want to do is give him the honey so he can make honey crepes. You know, you would think he would do something else with it, but I guess that's all he wants it for. So he needs 3 honey combs, and we're going to give him exactly that. And in doing so, yes, we'll be able to look into the Great Fairy that's located near the stable that we're heading to. So Honey Be Mine, I love that side quest name. You know, I like how it's punny. I kind of do appreciate all the puns with the side quests and things like that. I don't care how, you know, lame the pun is. If it's a pun, I'll appreciate it. I appreciate a good pun. So yeah, anyways, just like most side quests, we only get rupees, but there's really a bigger objective we get from it. That being that, yeah, one of the members will return to the Stable Trotters, and with that, we'll be able to open up a new Great Fairy Fountain. So let's head straight there. We want to make our way to the stable, like I said, south of Kakariko, so let's do that. And luckily, since it is raining, we can actually, yes, shield surf our way down and not worry about the traction. I mean, it is slippery. It is nice. I freaking love this. Yeah, never gets old. It was so fun doing Breath of the Wild, and it's just as fun within this game. Link is pretty much shield surfing his way down, and we're actually making really good speed. Obviously, when it comes to ground transportation, I do feel like the horse is still the best, which I do appreciate. But actually, since we're in an area that won't really give us much traction, let's actually pull out a cart and fuse it to our shield, and now we can actually skate pretty much on this yeah, bridge here, even though we don't really have much traction, you know, from going downhill, or it's not that slippery because it's not the actual ground. But as you can see, yeah, we're getting real good speed from it because you pretty much, it's on wheels now. And man, I love this. This is so cool. We're essentially skateboarding with our Hylian shield. It's so badass. And yeah, we've made it real quick to the stable. Like, I have to say, this is amazing, like how we're able to just kind of make our own way of transportation. We don't need a Zonai device in particular or a horse. But speaking of horses, we do want to pick up our horse here at the Dueling Peak Stable. And yeah, if we do speak to him, we'll get ourselves a pony point, 2 more to get our reward. Now, I don't actually want to pick up my horse yet because, like I said, there's a couple things I want to do before we start making our way to Hateno Village. One thing, actually, is let's not forget the shrine that we saw. There's always going to be a shrine near every stable. This one's a bit far, but as you can see, luckily, there's a piece of debris from the sky falling, and with it, we can ride it back up, and we're going to do just that. But as you can see as well, there's a cork that we can pull. So luckily, with this body of water here, if we go ahead and place it deep below, it will cause it to spring out of the water, pop in the cork, and there we go. We got ourselves a Korok seed. I do ignore most Korok seeds, but this one is just too easy. I gotta get it. And don't worry, we're gonna eventually get them all. That will be completely separate out of like the main playthrough. So that's the main reason why I ignore them. We don't need them all. And yeah, let's just go ahead and now rewind time, bring this back up to the sky so we can easily reach, yes, this shrine that's over here and quickly take it on. Yeah, pretty nice. I love that. And if that debris, like if you're worried about it not falling within your playthrough, it will eventually, no matter what. There's certain locations where they always fall onto the ground and you can utilize them. But anyways, with all that said and done, let's take on the shrine real quick. All right, so this shrine, I believe, is going to be very simple. Sadly, a lot of the shrines are either blessing shrines or, yeah, combat training with just shields. It's kind of simple, kind of bare bones, but you can always look at it as like a free light blessing, right? And that will power you up, so I'll take it. It will just make me stronger. I don't really have to try on this, and that's not a bad thing all the time. Even though I do welcome the challenge, I'll take the freebie. You know, I can't complain. So all we need to do here is, yeah, just reflect the projectile, which essentially is just parry the ranged attacks. Something we've mastered in Breath of the Wild. So if you've played Breath of the Wild, this should be very straightforward, very simple. The perfect guard, as they call it. So as you can see, there are shields if you don't have shields with you. Luckily, with the shield we have, since it's not wooden, it won't burn from the fires. That's why they give you both metal and wooden shields. So you're going to want the metal one to parry that attack. But as you can see, this construct is holding a topaz ranged weapon. It's powered with electricity, and if you have a metal shield, which the Hylian shield is metal, it would actually conduct the electricity and then hurt you. But as you can see, it didn't, because we have the cart attached to it, which I find really cool. So it's able to do both. It's able to reflect both elements without actually getting affected. I find that really cool just by fusing the cart to it. But if you didn't have the cart or those shields, you'd have to use those two and swap between them. But yeah, there we go. That does that. Let's pick up the weapon they dropped, actually, because they're very useful, and pick up the strong construct bow. That one isn't strong, but whatever. Let's just drop the one we had for it. And I do want the topaz broadsword, so let's just drop the weapons we don't need, because I do have a full inventory though. And I do want the ruby rod, of course. And that should do it. I guess I could attach the bow onto this hand. It will kind of look like it's holding it. Sorta? Not really. It's like attached to its wrist, but whatever, I'll take it. That does that. And we're good. We don't need those shields. We're fine. I really like the Captain Reaper though, so we're going to continue using that. The cart on the back of the shield looks a little stupid, but it has so much utility with just, shield surfing, so I'm going to take it. And speaking of badass looking shields, yeah, that's a good one. The Mighty Zonite shield. Feel bad dropping that one. I could drop the Lizzle shield, but I like the way it looks. Let's just attach this to the strong Zonite shield. Make it a double strong Zonite shield, I guess. And there we go. Looks a little silly. But it will at least be more durable. But you know what? Let's rock the Mighty Zonite shield. I love the gold aesthetic and the way it looks all together. Super cool. But anyways, there we go. That does the shrine. Again, super simple, straightforward, but it will power us up, and that's what matters. So with the Light of Blessing, let's move on and continue from here. All right, with that, the day is breaking. Wow, it looks so beautiful. I will honestly never get over how beautiful this game can be. I've seen Link walk out of a shrine hundreds of times, and I'm always blown away by how beautiful the game is. And perfect timing, too. We were in the shrine just enough for the new day to begin and the weather to clear up as well. And now with that, let's go ahead and play some music for the Great Fairy. So as we can see, we can see the Stable Trotters playing some music, and yeah, they're pretty much playing their own rendition of the stable theme, which is Epona's theme, as we know for Mockery of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, etc. But it is nice to hear their rendition. It sounds a lot more lively than the stable music that's playing in the background, though it is funny how their music isn't in sync with the actual background music of the stable theme. So you kind of have to focus on one because they're kind of overlapping each other. Still sounded beautiful, to say the least. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, Mastro needs some help, though they have their drummer, they're set, they're ready to go. We just got to help him with the Great Fairy, of course. And just like before, we pretty much had to take them there because, they need their instruments, and I don't know, for some reason they can't walk, but whatever, we'll help them. But as you can see, the Great Fairy fountain is all the way over there, which is behind a river. And there is a problem here, because unlike before where we could just use our horse to take him there on land and just, attach their carriage to our horse, we can't actually do that this time. So we don't need our horse for this mission because, yes, the bridge is broken. It's completely blocked with the debris from the sky. And how our horse is supposed to cross? Well, we can't do that. But as you can see, yes, this bright mind has figured it out. We just need to cross the river, no surprise. So we're gonna do exactly that, though I'd really love how this quest works out, because now you have to build your own vehicle of transportation. This is where, actually utilizing the Zonai Ultra Hand and just actually putting stuff together really come into play, and I absolutely love this. So let's go ahead and serenade to Cotera rather. And do exactly that. So all we need to do is head over to where their carriage is, and we want to attach that as he will say. I don't think we actually have to speak to him. Usually, he'll get upset if you try to mess with his carriage without, you know, initiating the side quest. We already initiated it, so I don't need to do that. But luckily, yeah, there's a bunch of construction all throughout Hyrule, and this construction here will be of use to build what we need so we can pretty much take them across the river. So let's do that by, well, luckily, yeah, all the parts we need, even the Zonai device pieces, will all be here. You don't have to use anything from your pocket. You know, you don't have to pop any capsules, go to any gacha devices. You're all set. Luckily, the game provides everything. So all we need to do is attach a, you know, steering stick, because it will make, you know, actually directing where this goes a lot easier. And then we'll attach some Zonai fans. You could probably use one, but I do believe there are two. Yep. Okay, perfect. And then that should honestly do it. Luckily, there is also a Zonai battery right up there, so we don't even have to consume our own battery. We can easily use this one, attach it, and that should honestly do it. This will get us within, you know, across the water within seconds, and if we attach their carriage to it, we'll be more than set. So, okay, they're not going to move. Usually NPCs will move out of the way, but I guess they're kind of stuck in place because, you know, it's a side quest. They're waiting for you and everything, so it makes sense. But okay, there we go. We'll just move the carriage, attach it ourselves, and just like that, we should be ready to go. So there, I may have killed a fish trying to place it in the water. But yeah, let's go ahead and speak to him. And now let's do it. So hop in and I'll take you, because we should be set. It's going to be very, very simple. And I don't know. I really like these, you know, side quests. We've already done a couple similar to this, but to me it's so fun. And I wish there were a lot more throughout this game to really utilize the Zonai builds and just taking NPCs around the giant world. And yeah, to me, these are my more favorite side quests, even though they're very simplistic. But look at that. We got him along. Link is their, you know, captain, and he's just, yeah, set sailing away. It's so cool. But yeah, short and simple as that was, it was still fun to say the least, so I enjoyed it. But anyways, now for the performance. I don't know. I feel like Master would be like the Mario of this universe, right? I don't know. Maybe just because of his voice and the way he looks, but I can't help but get Mario vibes. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but yeah, there we go. The Stable Trotters have done it again. They have brought in another Great Fairy out of her hiding, as you know, they were afraid of the upheaval. They hid away from the Hylians, and now luckily she is blessing us with her presence once more, as we'll be able to upgrade our stuff even stronger. You know, all of our attire can now go up to 2 stars, which will be pretty useful. Of course, we're gonna need a lot of material to even do that, and I haven't really been going out of my way to collect material. Actually, for the sake of like this being a walkthrough, I don't collect anything I don't need to collect for like an actual side quest. So yeah, we're not going to be able to upgrade much until I actually try to farm for different pieces of material, but you know, it's still going to be useful. And at the end of the day, our goal is just to 100% everything, and eventually I'll definitely collect everything that I need to upgrade my material. But yeah, she is back out. She's in the wild, and she got a breath of fresh air. She got a breath of the wild. That's not really a pun. I just kind of tried to put her words and my words together there. And yeah, whatever. Okay, you get the point. Anyways, yeah, we can enhance her clothing. As said, we need the necessary materials, and I feel like I don't really have much necessary materials, but we'll see. I mean, let me upgrade something. At least maybe I could upgrade something to 1 star. I doubt I could do anything to 2 stars. And I mean, 1 star only needs 1 Great Fairy, but again, with her being out, we can do up to 2. But whatever, we'll do this one. We'll just quickly upgrade it, and with that she'll blow a kiss. Obviously, the more you upgrade, the more intimate she gets with Link. It's pretty funny, but I do love the Ember headdress, so I wouldn't mind having at least 1 star on it since I do have the material. But yeah, we'll look into all of that later. You know, that's a very time-consuming thing to do to enhance your clothing. So yeah, let's just keep in mind 2 more sisters, and then we'll be able to do all 4 stars once we have them all. Luckily, you don't have to speak to each sister for each star. 1 sister can do them all. As long as the sisters are active throughout Hyrule, you could keep upgrading. But anyways, there you go. That does it. I feel like a pretty weird location to have a Great Fairy Fountain, but I do like how they relocated them from Breath of the Wilds. Anyways, let's pass the little twin bridge and make our way across the broken bridge. As you know, Mastro couldn't make his way past. To me, I just find it absolutely ridiculous that this was their problem. So look how quickly it took me to reach the bridge, right? So it doesn't really take long to walk there. And then this is it. This is the problem with the bridge. Just because there's a sign right there, I guess, saying that the bridge is broken, you can no longer, go through. That bridge will not let you pass. It's pretty dumb, but whatever. I mean, still, we got a fun side quest out of it, but it didn't really seem like they needed it that badly. They didn't need the transportation. They could have just walked, you know? But whatever. Anyways, now that we are at the Dueling Peak Stable, let's go ahead and pull out Epona, as we're going to need her now. Since, we got some traveling to do on foot, and, I do love traveling when it comes to like on ground traveling with the horse. It's reminiscent of Breath of the Wild. It's reminiscent of the Zelda series in general. Well, there are Zonai vehicles we can build. Like I said, I feel like the horse travel is still the best when it's on ground. Again, only when it's on ground, but whatever. Anyways, let's go ahead and start making our way there. There's a bunch of things we can do. As you can see, yeah, Pen is up there at the top of the stable, and there's so much we can do, but I think let's just focus on making our way to Hateno Village, because we got a lot of things we want to do, and yeah, I just want to tackle one thing at a time. So let's go ahead and take the fork in the road instead of heading back to Kakariko Village and start making our way through here where Fort Hateno is. The great battle of the calamity that happened in Breath of the Wild's time 100 years ago, before Breath of the Wild, technically resumed. Link woke up 100 years later. So 100 years in the past, there were a bunch of Guardian parts, and Link fought them. Sadly, there aren't really any remaining. All the Sheikah tech just kind of disappeared, but whatever, that's a story for another time. Let's go ahead and speak to Haas here, because as you can see, his men are once again ready to take on another battle. Yes, this is another battle that we can join him with, and the first one we did was in Hyrule Field. Now we have one in Fort Hateno. I find it really cool because we're kind of reliving a similar battle to the great one 100 years ago. Not really, though. This will be a lot easier. I mean, there's going to be some Bokoblins, a Moblin, and that's about it. But it's cool to have all these NPCs on our side, and let's bring peace to Necluda. So let's do this. As you can see, yeah, we got a bunch of Bokoblins. Like I said, just one Moblin. The monster forces are ready to go down. I'm going to actually use my bomb arrows here, and hopefully that does a good amount of damage. Actually, we're doing way too much damage. I don't even think I need to do this, because we do have some pretty good weapons with this as well. So let's be careful. Let's not get hit. I realize I haven't gotten hit, for a few episodes, right? I've been sitting on these yellow hearts for a long time. Since, before the Water Temple, I want to say. And we've done the Fire Temple in between. Let's see if I can keep that momentum going. I'm saying that now. I'm going to watch me jinx myself and just get... Ew, okay. Watch me get hit by, these spikes or something. So, whoa, let's be careful. Let's Flurry Rush this. These black Bokoblins are going to be a bit stronger, but it's really satisfying to kill them, as they will drop really valuable monster parts. Don't worry, I will pick them up. Let's just focus on the battle, help out our NPCs, quickly take out these enemies. They're doing good damage, and it's nice to have even our Sage Spirits with us. They add to the allies we have with us. It actually makes it a lot easier in that regard, but in general, I feel like we had the weapons needed. So, yeah, bravo, everyone. We did it. And once again, Haas is more than grateful for her help. But again, I love joining them. And I like how his weapon is kind of like a fused weapon. It looks like he has a pot lid fused on his spear. Which I don't know how helpful that would be, but whatever, you know. Haas is like the only one who doesn't even battle anyways. He just stands, or rather sits on his horse and just kind of lets his goonies do everything. But whatever. We didn't really need much of their help. We were able to make quick work of that enemy camp. And now with that, let's go ahead and move on. So yeah, and obviously he's going to talk about the Blood Moon because yeah, with each Blood Moon, these monster forces will reappear. But it doesn't really mean too much. We've gotten used to the Blood Moon, and in general, it's kind of nice to be able to, you know, redo battles and stuff. But of course, with each time we help him, we'll be able to help him out in a different area. And yeah, let's bring back the peace to Necluda. So we've done it. So thanks for that, guys. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually start making my way to the Hateno Village. That was originally what we set out for, and there's so many things to sidetrack us. And I'm already putting a lot of things aside, so yeah. But okay. Oh, I do like this though, the Silent Princess. Yeah, so I dedicate this monument to the memory of the souls lost to the calamity. Zelda. That's really cool that Zelda came back to do this. And as I mentioned earlier, yeah, this was where the great battle happened. So it's pretty cool to see something like that. So it lets you know that what happened in Breath of the Wild still happened, even though we don't have any traces regarding like the, you know, the Guardian parts in the Sheikah shrines. Everything just vanished. And again, that's a whole theory and conspiracy for another time to look into how and why that all happened. And we're here just to focus on the game and the objectives at hand. So, okay, like I said, my goal is to make my way straight to Hateno Village. I see you, Korok. I would love to help you, but it's not really useful when we have opponent with us since we don't have anything attached to her, and you can't attach anything to opponent, sadly. So we'd have to use a donate device. But anyways, over here, there used to be a shrine in Breath of the Wild's time. Sadly, there isn't anymore, as you can see. But there is a cave in replace of it, which I find really cool. And we can see a bloopy. I do love how the bloopies are always outside of caves, so they're very useful in sort of helping you find a cave. If you see a bloopy, then you know there's a cave nearby. And if there's a cave, then you know there is a bubble frog. And yeah, this cave here is the Robred Dropoff cave. Now, actually, like I said, I want to head to Hateno Village, but we can get this quick. This will be very simple, super easy. There's a treasure that sleeps on the path shown by the stones. So keep that in mind. Pretty much the stones are staring directly at it. As you can see, when you open up the map, there is no maps for caves. It's still just the overworld map. And that's where things can get a bit tricky because you'll go around in circles. But as long as you follow these statues, it will make it easier. And I do like how the game doesn't actually have maps for caves, because it does make these caves a lot more mysterious and, you know, require a lot more focus in that regard. But okay, so again, let's follow where these stone statues are staring. As you can see, these are the only ones looking off into its own direction. So we're going to make our way over here. I'm going to use this to break open stuff. And again, my way of easily getting rid of a lot of rocks without having to mine and break weapons is just by chucking at it. I'm not like this is the best method. Don't use bombs. Don't just sit and wail away at it. Just throw your weapon that can break the rocks, and you'll be able to easily break them without getting rid of the durability too much. But okay, so we got a big boss bokoblin. We got a bunch of bokoblins with them. I'm going to quickly just keep hitting this, and hopefully, yep, that will do the trick, and we'll fall in the water. If they try to fall in with us, they'll die because the bokoblins can't swim. So we're good. We escaped that. But on the other side, there was the hidden treasure that we're seeking for, though of course we can't get it because it's locked up. So the way to get it is we're gonna have to make our way underneath the area and where it's hiding just by doing so. And then you may remember it was 3 stones that guided us all the way to here. So we're gonna use these 3 stones to then ascend above them, and that will actually take us to where the treasure is. As you can see, real simple, real easy. And yeah, believe it or not, that's where the enemies were, and that's why I jumped down immediately. Avoided them, but not bad. At least we were able to finish this real quickly. So now let's pick up the treasure at hand. This is actually a really nice piece of treasure. One of my favorite pieces from Breath of the Wild, that being the Barbarian set. Not found in Faron, though, now in Necluda, but whatever. We got a piece, and I do believe we can get another piece along the way within this video, so we'll focus on that. But there is, yeah, okay, a bubble frog here. I wanted to make sure to get that as well. Like I said, each cave holds one, so you want to make sure you collect them. I think we're sitting on quite a bit, so we got to find, you know, Colton, Kilton's brother, so we could trade him with him, but we'll let him stack up for now. Because, yeah, just, again, so much to do. Like, it's so overwhelming. I'm trying my best to, like, again, carve out a pathway that's easiest to follow, but also gets a lot done without getting too sidetracked. So, anyways, now, let's head to Hateno Village. Like, we're 30 minutes in this video. Over 30 minutes, and we haven't even done the objective I wanted to do yet, so... Yeah, and that's already with me skipping so much, but whatever. Speaking of which, though, you know what? Let me just get off. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way, but if he's literally along the path, I'll go do this. So, yeah, we want to help him, you know. Hudson's construction men, aka the same guy that's all throughout Hyrule, needs our help because, you know, he wants to place all of Hudson's signs. And all we need to do is go ahead and do this. I believe that should do it. Kind of looks like he's stepping on it, but I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we can just drop it, right? So just, you know, an upside down T. You could look at it that way with the planks. And that should do the trick. As you can see, though, the sign he's holding doesn't have much support on the bottom. So you want to make sure something is nice and tucked in the middle there so it can stay sturdy. And yeah, that should do the job. So there you go. He's standing. Now we can move on from there. But yeah, I'll stop for these guys because they're a lot easier. Like Korok seeds are usually out of your way. You have to, you know, bring the Korok to the other area. That's why I purposely ignore them. But these guys, it's like, hey, it takes 2 seconds. Let me help them out and then I'll move on. But again, we'll do all of these, even the ones I forget or, you know, just, you know, cruise by eventually. But again, if it's just like literally along the pathway, it takes 2 seconds, why not, right? So there we go. Not bad. Let's go ahead and hop back on Epona, continue our destination, and I do want to swap the weapon. Don't really like how that, you know, club looks. It's kind of weird because it's like you got like a club that looks like a caveman would hold with this futuristic core flux attached to it. You know, it's not the most appealing looking weapon, but it is really strong, of course, and it's great at destroying rocks. So that's the main reason why I want to keep it around. But anyways, yeah, this is so nice, though. This is very nostalgic because this is something I don't do enough within this game. That is just horseback ride along the trail. Something you have to do to get around in Breath of the Wild. But again, in Tears of the Kingdom, there's just so many ways of transportation that I feel like this isn't as appreciated as much. But this is the true way of traveling within Zelda, and that's why I want to utilize it as much as possible within this playthrough. And I feel like it's the easiest to follow because you just got to ride your horse. So yeah, okay. You know, this one's along the way as well, so just bear with me, guys. Let's quickly do this. At least after this, we'll definitely be at Hateno Village because we're real close. And finally, we can then speak to Robbie. But okay, so yeah, opponent should move. I believe all I want to do actually is just stick like one of these just into it like this. And hopefully I can just attach it to the, you know, piece of wood I had underneath it, just like that. That should honestly do it. Doesn't look too sturdy, again, because there's not much support on the, you know, sign he's holding, at least on the bottom, but it should do the job. So if we just have him let go, as long as, yeah, you know, the wind works in our favor. There we go. Perfect. So he's standing. It didn't fall. Pretty simple. A lot of them, though, there's so many ways to do them. I'm just going to do it in the most basic way I know how, and hopefully it works for you guys if you are following along. For those who did wait around for how long videos have been apart, like, I doubt many people are still following along. But if you are, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. Or if you're just new to this series anyways, maybe it doesn't matter. If you're watching this far in the future, just whatever I'm saying right now doesn't matter at all. But whatever. Let's just pick up our rewards from our boy, let him head to a different spot so he can sit and just hold the sign. And now let's get Epona with us. and continue on. So, whoa, 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 whoa! Bro, what the heck? I didn't mean to do that. That's one of the things, and I mean when I say the spirits of the sages can get really annoying. Luckily, Epona, she can withstand the damage. Like, I feel like she was getting hit by the bombs as well when I was attacking the monster forces, and she took a Daruk, or rather a Yonobo attack. But anyways, yes, Hateno Village, we have arrived. Whoa. They were blocking our way. I believe originally we'd get stopped by someone. But yeah, we're here. And yeah, Hateno Village aesthetically is probably the most different from Breath of the Wild to this game. As you can see, there are mushrooms spawning everywhere. Like, just everywhere. And there's so much to do within this village. And there's a side quest that involves why these mushrooms are here and all that. But again, we're going to have to put that aside. And let's just first... we want to make our way to the tech lab, right? But obviously with every single village, every single stable, there will always be a shrine. And as you can see, there it is. So obviously want to get that as soon as possible, as it will allow me to teleport back here with ease. We don't have to take that long pathway we took before. So let's make sure we get this shrine quickly completed, and then we'll focus on the tech lab, and we'll eventually come back to Hateno for the rest. There's so much business we have to do here, but let's focus on one thing at a time. So first, let's go ahead and take on the shrine real quickly and see what awaits for us. So here we go. All right, and while this game is open world and you could really do anything in any order, I do feel like this shrine in particular is really easy as well, because I do feel like deep down the game developers did want you to revisit these areas early on within your playthrough. I happened to wait after 3 temples, but whatever, at least we're here. So we got to scoop it out, as the title implies for the shrine. So as you can see, there is the ball we got to scoop out. Go ahead and attach it to this wheel here. And you pretty much did it. So all that's left is just grab one of these metal tiles and just place it to connect the gap between the electricity current. And just like that, we're done. Yeah, very, very easy. Again, very tutorial-like, but I won't complain. I do feel like this shrine in particular, like I said, is meant to be sort of a tutorial, something the game developers expected you to do early on. Yeah, it shows, because all you need to do is wait for this ball to come up and then just have it drop down and you're done. You know, there's really nothing more. So there we go. We did it. Hell yeah. Woohoo. Super simple. But again, I always look at these as little victories that will just make us getting to our end goal even easier, right? So it doesn't have to be anything too challenging. I'll take it as it is. So yeah, with that, we have once again got ourselves, I believe, our second? This should be our second shrine this video. We did a lot of traveling within this video, but don't worry, I'll make sure to get 2 more to round it up to another heart. But all right, before getting sidetracked by shrines or anything of that sort, let's now head to the tech lab, which will be at the very far end of this village at the top. If we just follow this pathway, we can see that there are some wells as well. I'm doing that again, you know, there are some wells. I don't want to do that. I believe like the first well we entered, I was trying to make a pun by just using the word well, but yeah. My point is that there are a bunch of wells within this village, and they will be of use later on. We'll look into all of that, but again, just so much to do. Let's focus on reaching the tech lab here. And as you can see, yeah, Robbie has arrived. His hot air balloon is here. Somehow he managed to direct it all the way here with ease, and he beat us to it. I mean, we did take our sweet time, but still. But there we go. Yes, Robbie is pretty much in replace of Purah here in the tech lab, which is kind of nice. I miss the tech lab music. I really like it. But yeah, you had to have Robbie here to actually enter the tech lab. And now with our Purah Pad, we can start upgrading it. So there we go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. We get ourselves a sensor. So that is the first reward for just arriving here. And that will help us with shrines around us. Now, I do believe we got to do something regarding the sensor. He wants us to put it to use. So yeah, all you need to do is just walk towards the direction of the sensor blinking, just like that. And there you go. It might seem confusing because you got to walk for a little bit. As you saw, I made sure to walk back a bit, and then I started walking that direction. And that will have him then speak to you and let you leave, because you won't be able to leave if you don't do it, which I found really confusing because in my original playthrough, I actually took on the shrine that the sensor is going to take us towards before I even spoke to him. So it didn't trigger that whole test out the sensor bullcrap that he forces you to do. So, yeah, it could be a bit confusing if you're, doing it in actual order, but if you do it out of order, then yeah, if you did the shrine already, he wouldn't have even mentioned it. But anyways, let's take on the shrine. And speaking of taking on, it's not really taking on, it's just a blessing. And this is just, a reward from Rauru, apparently, for figuring out how to use the sensor. I don't really get it. This is more so something that has to do with the quest with Robbie and the Purah Pad and the sensor itself, but somehow the game was just like, you know what, screw it, this is a blessing shrine. So this is what our third absolutely easy freebie shrine that we've done in this video alone, but whatever, I'll take it. Let's just go ahead and pick it up, and then from there we can then speak to Robbie and continue upgrading our Purah Pad. We had to do this first to test out the Sheikah sensor. It's very useful with caves, as you see, but yeah, super easy, super simple, and with that, let's move. So, okay, before we leave, though, because this is still technically a cave, we need to look for the bubble frog, which is right over here. So let's quickly hit it. I missed its head, so we got to use 2 hits with this bow at least, because it's not that strong. But whatever, that will do it. We got our bubble gem, and now we can leave. So I do believe there's a different entrance. This is kind of where the sensor would actually lead you to, because there's like 2 entrances or 2 exits, depending on how you look at it, to this cave. And then the other entrance / exit is over here. So yeah, if you followed the shrine sensor, it would lead you to here. I just decided to immediately head down, and there you go. And if you enter it, as you can see, yep, it will appear on our mini map. You actually have to enter the cave's entrance to have it appear on the mini map, and if you don't, you'll only get the entrance you went through. So yeah, if you want to make sure you have them all, make sure you go in and out of every single cave exit / entrance to get them to appear on the mini map. But anyways, with all of that said and done, let's go ahead and now speak to Robbie and let him know the sensor worked. We found the shrine. We got the blessing. We did this and that. Now give me more upgrades, because that's essentially what we're actually here for. So yeah, the sensor is super nice. I'll utilize it a bit longer, but I'm definitely going to turn it off for at least my own sanity. Again, if you're someone who enjoys it, go for it. But I feel like, I already know where the shrines are, and yeah, I don't really need it if this is going to be like a walkthrough type thing. I'm not like exploring it for the first time or anything like that. So yeah, I'll turn it off. I feel like it will be a lot more enjoyable as well for those watching, because you're not going to hear the continuous blinking. It can get a bit annoying, but okay. So yeah, Hero's Path Sensor Plus, 2 things we can get right now immediately, so let's just make sure we get that. The Travel Medallion I am looking forward to, though we can't get that yet because we actually have to make our way somewhere else. So he'll actually put it on our Purah Pad, and that is, yes, the Akala Tech Lab, which was where Robbie originally was in Breath of the Wild. So yeah, we can make our way there eventually. Let's do one thing at a time. So with that, though, at least he pinned it on our map, and we know that is where we can get the Travel Medallion, something that's going to be very useful. Speaking of Travel Medallions, yes, he'll also activate this, so we can actually teleport to the Tech Lab with these as well. But yeah, just in general, let's keep that in mind. But there are 2 other things we can get. The Travel Medallions are super nice, and much better than Breath of the Wild, because you'll have multiple ones in this game, and they're easy, to place and just to pick up, and I love them. But okay, so, well, we'll do that later. Let's talk to him about the Hero's Path, and all you need is 15 shrines, and we have well over 15 shrines located. So yeah, again, that's why I do feel like this was something the game developers expected you to find early on within the game. That's why everything is a bit easy around these areas. But whatever, we did it now. Never too late, right? It's never too late. We at least did it, and now we got the Hero's Path. So that's what matters, right? And what is nice is, yeah, the Hero's Path is super, just fun to look at. I don't really think it's that useful per se, but it is cool because it records up to like, what, 256 or I forgot how much he said, but a lot of hours of your playtime. You could beat the entire game and get all the shrines within that amount of time of how much the Hero's Path will record of you. But okay, and then the Sensor Plus is you just have to take photos of, I believe, 5 enemies, and we've definitely done that. You know, we've taken photos of a lot of boss type enemies and just general cool looking enemies. Not too many throughout this playthrough, because again, I'm not going out of my way to do so, but we got enough to get the Sensor Plus. And with the Sensor Plus, we can now locate, instead of just shrines, we can locate certain photos that we've taken and have them beep the sensor for that. So if you're looking for a certain weapon or certain animal or enemy, it will help you locate them. And with that, the compendium database will open up and you can actually look into that and upgrade it. Similar to Breath of the Wild, you can collect them a lot faster thanks to his cherry. You know, he loves this little machine more than his wife. I believe his wife literally mentions that. She's like jealous of it because, yeah, Robbie is a freak and he really likes his tech. But anyways, I believe that's all we can do for now with him. We'll come back to still more upgrades, as he said, but whoa. Nadra's here now. It's cool because like Nadra was traveling with us. We saw her near Kakariko. Now she's here in Hateno. But okay, we'll let her fly in the sky. It doesn't really matter. Let's just go ahead and head down here. As you can see, yeah, we can see a light all the way on the ground. That is a blue pea because it's indicating that there's a cave nearby. Like I said, all these blue peas stand outside of caves, which make it really easy to find caves while you're high up in the sky because you just need to look for the blue pea and then you know there's a cave. And it runs to the cave as you saw. But first, let me pick up this Korok seed because, again, this one's pretty simple, not something I have to actually go out of my way for. So just another easy one to get. And now let's enter this cave because this cave is actually super cool because our goal is to actually make our way where we saw Nadra in those mountains because, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that I'm traveling so much within East Necluda without actually having a map. We need a map, right? So we're going to get a map. We're going to find the Sheikah Tower that's here. And this cave acts as a shortcut to it. It's so cool. I love the cave system within this game, and I love how they bridge certain areas together, because in Breath of the Wild, we'd have to take a completely different route to do this. But now, yeah, we could just use this cave to connect us. So first thing I want to do, though, and I do believe this cave obviously holds a blue pea, which we'll get. He's right up ahead. But speaking of ahead of us, on top in particular, there happens to be, yes, we'll use this here and use it to ascend. Now, I got to be careful because I believe literally above me, right above this, yes, there is a like, and I don't like. So we're going to quickly jump away from this ice like, and make our way here because there happens to be, yes, a secret chest. And you may notice by the design that, yes, most likely the Misco Bandit had his hands in placing this secret chest. And in this chest, just like the Barbarian Helm we got the leg wraps. And obviously we're going to be able to find the last piece, which is a torso, later on. But I'm not going to focus on that for now. Let's just focus on getting the map for this area. So let me first take out this blue pea here, since obviously with this being a cave, it holds one of the rather bubble frogs. I mean, it technically is a blue pea, right? Because the bubble frogs turn into blue peas. So I wasn't wrong, technically, you know. At least I corrected myself as well, but whatever. Okay, let's move on, though. I do want to use my Flux Core Smasher so I can pick up these ore deposits. I was hoping a diamond drop. You have a small chance of a diamond dropping if you find a ore deposit that's so sparkly and nice. But anyways, we want our ruby rod out so it can give us some heat here because, as you can see, yeah, the shrine sensor is going off. I'll let it go off for now because we're actually right next to a shrine. Yep, it's right there, and it's a bit cold, though. So let's go ahead and place our archaic worm greaves. That will give us the weather resistance we need. And yes, speaking of Nadra earlier, I do want to rock out Nadra's fit, as you can see with the helm. I love how only in the cold, of course, it glows. And since we're in the cold, I'm going to wear it because I love that bright blue glow. But let's take on the shrine. And as you can see, the crown is losing its blue glow as we have entered a shrine and it's no longer cold within here. But yeah, let's take on Jailbreak. I do find the name of the shrine pretty hilarious, as it will make sense at the very end of the shrine what the jailbreaking is. because yeah, so far it might not make any sense. All we need to do right now is ascend upwards, and as you can see with this block here, yeah, we can easily make our way up, and from there it looks like we want to continue up, but we can't from here. So what we got to do is jump here and yeah, just drag this block like so, and then continue our progress upwards. Yeah, pretty simple, but I like it. You know, it kind of gets you used to using Ascend more often and actually utilizing. And speaking of Ascend, I do like how we can actually see Link make his way up and gain the height like so without it clipping through, because the camera didn't clip through that, you know, ascension process. And usually when it does, it has that weird green background and we can't actually see it, but it's nice to physically see Link gain the height when he does use Ascend. But it's very rare when that happens, because most of the time the camera does clip. But anyways, let's go ahead and just attach this magic scepter to a, I guess, another magic staff. I don't know. I just don't want to lose it, but I don't really want to use it either, if that makes any sense. But okay. So from here, let's go ahead and just use this as a way to then allow us to continue upwards by ascending like so. And I do believe if I, yeah, there we go. It won't clip until I guess it reaches, yeah, a certain point. There we go. Now the green, got the green background. So now we got a jailbreak. This is essentially what I was talking about with the shrine name. So how do we get out of here? What do we do? Well, all you really need is just this right here. And you just want to tilt it and just kind of use it as a way to walk out. You don't want to do anything fancy, like, now you don't want to jump, yeah, because I believe, okay, yeah, Link will slide. Just take it easy and walk out. Super simple, super straightforward. But it did feel like we jailbroke. You know, we had to get out of it some way, somehow, and that's how it worked. But okay. Now, with that done, we can move on. Again, yeah, to me, I just find it funny because it does feel like you kind of had to break out of a jail of sorts, but it was super easy to do so. But anyways, let's now move on. All right, and as you can see, the helm is once again glowing as we're in the cold, and Link is actually really cold, so let's go ahead and swap back to our ruby rod so we can gain that heat and, yeah, be able to resist this cold. But, okay, so from here, as you can see, the tower is all the way up there. And I want to make my way to that tower because we need the map for this area. And it might look like quite a long ways up, but luckily there are some Zonai devices that will make the trek up there super simple, super easy, and in a matter of seconds, actually. So first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and make our way here. As you can see, there are some Zonai devices that will be super valuable. This being, yes, some rockets, and we want to attach these rockets to our shield. It will launch us up. I mean, you can make a different Zonai device out of it, but I feel like this will do the job because we'll find other Zonai devices that will make the way up even easier as well. So let me go ahead and attach it to my two least desired shields. And now let's go ahead and put them to use. Yes, now I feel like Buzz Lightyear. I love seeing the rocket on Link's back. You know, we can pretty much go to infinity and beyond. I just love the way Link looks and, you know, that whole animation. It's so badass. But okay, I guess we could save the other one because luckily, yeah, it's even going to get easier. We don't even have to use this rocket shield yet because there are some Zonai trampoline devices here. So we can continue our way up by launching ourselves like so. Woohoo! And of course we can attach these to our weapons, but it's more convenient just to have placed where they are and then just go ahead and smack them, have it launch you up like so. And look at that. I mean, we're already so close to the top. That literally took seconds. It was pretty nice. And let's go ahead once again to infinity and beyond. Up we go. And yeah, there we go. I feel like we're almost there. And it wasn't bad. Like, literally, those devices were super useful. So now we got to kind of take the rest on foot. But, you know, most of the trek up has already been covered. Like, yeah, we've already made it so high up. It shouldn't take too much long now to walk the rest of the way. And, okay, we got an Isolzolfo's chasing us. I don't want to get hit by it because it could easily freeze us. So let's just quickly run past it. I'm just not going to mess with any enemy. Let's just kind of make our way to the tower and let nothing else stop us. I don't want to get sidetracked with anything because there are a lot of things that can sidetrack me. Actually, if we do continue our way up, we'll find something else that's pretty important. But okay, it's still chasing me. All right, man, you picked the wrong time to battle me because if I touch you with this fiery blast, yes, you'll literally evaporate into nothingness. And yeah, that's what happens because if Isolzolfo touches any fire, it just dies. It ceases to exist. Luckily, it did drop the Ice Breath Horn, which will be pretty useful. But as you can see, here is the Spring of Wisdom. And yeah, even though I want to check this out and all that, we'll put that aside because, again, let's just focus on the objective at hand. And we can't actually do much with that goddess statue at the moment because it involves a side quest. But speaking of which, let's go ahead and... Nice! Oh, yeah. Okay, that's one thing I wanted to do real quick. Roast that bird, get myself some meat. That's actually hilarious. I perfectly hit it and, yeah, got myself a quick meal along the way. But, yeah, the... Spring we'll look into later on because it involves a side quest. Even though I have light blessings to upgrade into a new heart, we can't actually use that goddess statue yet to upgrade because we have to do a side quest involving it if we do interact with it, which again we'll put aside later. But now we made it to Mount Lanayru Skyview Tower. We have made it to the tippy top. We've done it, and now we can activate our tower and, well, get the map for this area. So let's do exactly that. Yes. It took not bad actually. I feel like we did pretty good timing, but yeah, we've done quite a bit within this video, and it feels good to now activate this tower. I guess we will actually activate the map for it in the next one as we launch ourselves up. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Join me next time as we continue on our journey and launch ourselves to see what awaits within Hyrule. So I'll see you all then.